Well, gang, a little more spirit this time, okay? Do it again. Ready? Begin.
With a T, with a T, with a T, T, with an E, with an E, with an E, E, with an A, with an A, with an A, A, with an M, with an M, with an M, M, T, E, A, M, rah, 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 rah. Go, fight, win.
You know, I'm gonna miss those Friday night crowds. You'll get used to it. Maybe I just won't go to any games next year. That's all behind us, Vicky. We'll find something to take its place. Like what? Oh, college, careers, love affairs. Yeah, when everything else fails, get married. If you can't beat the system, marry it. What do you think about what Dodsley said today? About what? About half of all teenage marriages ending in divorce. It's enough to make you a believer. Yeah. I think I'll wait till I'm 30. Good luck.
Friday again at 3:30?
Right.
Well, see ya.
Bye. Christy's a lucky kid. She's going off to college next fall. Me? Well, with all my luck, I'll probably end up working at the Five and Dime. I guess you could say that's my biggest worry right now. What to do with my life. With graduation a month away, it's like, well, it's like having to decide who you are. It really scares me. Hi, lover.
Hi.
You don't look like you're working too hard.
Yeah. I guess I'm not. What about you? Have you been cheering up the football squad?
Yeah.
Right now I could use a little cheering up myself.
You know what Dodsley said today?
No. What?
Well, that half of all teenage marriages end up in divorce within 5 years.
You know, Vicky, that's the only thing that keeps me from marrying you.
What's that?
That you're only 18.
That's a lousy excuse. I guess what really worries me about being 18 is what I'm going to do after high school.
You'll think of something.
Don't you worry about what you're going to do after you graduate?
Some.
What?
Oh, that I should go on to college. Except, well, right now I'm tired of school.
What are you going to do then?
I don't know. Bum around. Find a 21-year-old wife who'll support me.
You're dreaming again, lover. It looks like your mother just pulled up.
Tell her to wait for me, will you? I've got to tell the pro I'm leaving. I'll see you tonight after play practice, okay?
Okay.
Vicky worries too much about the future. I mean, sure, it's chaotic, but it can be handled. That's something I like to tell myself anyway, that I'm old enough to handle my life.
Why don't you sit in the front seat?
I'm trying to start a generation gap.
I don't see why you let that girl eat up so much of your time. Doesn't she have any life of her own?
Mom, if you would just stop thinking of Vicky as a threat to my virginity, you would live a lot longer.
Dave, don't talk to me like that.
Yes, Mom.
Is that you, Vicky? Yeah. Supper will be ready in a few minutes. Where's Rolf and Sue?
Susie's washing up. Rolf's in the basement.
Vicky, why don't you help me by setting the table? Okay. Did you do anything after school today? We practiced a little. I stopped by to see Dave.
Are you still running on after that kid? What do you see in that pansy anyhow?
Mother. Lay off, George.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, he'll never make it as a man.
Well, who said you ever made it either? George. Dave, do you think I'm too sexy when I'm cheerleading?
I don't know. You always look terribly desirable doing it.
Doing what?
Throwing yourself in the air, spread eagle.
I'm glad. I mean that you can be teased.
Vicky,
Yeah?
well, does the fact that I don't, well, tease too easily bother you any?
I don't know. Why?
Well, you see, Vicky, I want to be more intimate with you, except, well, it always comes out so many words, like some kind of smoke screen.
Why's that?
I don't know.
Tell me, Dave.
I said, Vicky, I didn't know.
Okay.
Why do you have to know anyway?
Because you're important to me, that's why.
Vicky,
Yeah?
Vicky, I shouldn't tell you this, but, well, I started dating you last winter because, I don't know, because I thought I could learn something from you about dating. Does that surprise you?
Yes!
That was back before I knew you very well. Didn't turn out to be that kind of girl, really.
Thanks.
Sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you.
Well, I hope you learned all you need to know.
Vicky, I told you, you're not that kind of girl.
Sure, I forgot.
Vicky,
What?
don't make me feel guilty for trying to be honest with you.
Well, I don't like feeling cheap, Dave.
You don't have to feel cheap. Not with me.
Somehow I can't believe you.
What you meant to me 4 months ago is all in the past. You're somebody different now.
Yeah? How?
I don't know, you're somebody I want to talk to. Somebody I want to share things with.
That's important, huh?
That makes you important to me.
Okay.
So you don't feel cheap anymore.
No.
From childhood on, there's the increasing need for us to share ourselves with others, both physically and psychologically. This need eventually finds a high degree of satisfaction in the institution of marriage. Consequently, in order for the marriage to have some hope of success, each partner must come to terms with his own sexuality or sex role.
It helps to have all the details down in shorthand, believe me. Sometimes old Dodsey comes at you a mile a minute. When he gets on the subject of sex, I don't know. When I was younger, I thought it just meant being bold and, well, somehow willing. But now I'm not so sure. I mean, the older I get, the more complicated it gets.
Mom says you're home for a change.
Hi, Barb.
What are you doing? Studying?
Yeah, all about marriage and life.
Real depressing, huh?
You ought to know.
What does the book say that could help anybody?
Oh, that marriage is for grown-ups.
That sounds simple enough. For a textbook. You want the hard truth about it all.
Yeah.
Just know why you're getting married, that's all.
Why? Didn't you have a reason?
Oh, sure. The oldest reason in the world. I wanted to get away from home.
Yeah, I know.
All I did was find some guy to knock me up and marry me. Simple as ABC.
Except it didn't work out.
No, it didn't. Do you mind if I confess something to you?
No. Go ahead.
Well, up to about a year ago, I thought you were going to end up just like me. But something happened. You changed.
Yeah, I had to watch myself as a cheerleader. Besides, after you got pregnant, Mom would fly into a rage every time I got near a guy. She kept yelling about how I couldn't be happy if I didn't stay a virgin. What mothers don't know.
Yeah. I know all about mothers.
The play's the thing, wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king. Well, that's enough play acting for a while.
You keep it up, Dave, and you'll steal the show.
I wish I could have played Hamlet instead of Laertes.
Me too. To be or not to be? I guess that question worries me too.
How's that?
Oh, afraid I'll choose wrong. That I'll end up like my parents. Does that ever worry you?
Like the plague.
When I think of what's ahead of me, you know what I think of? Zeros. One long chain of zeros.
You can do more than you think you can, Vicky.
I wish I could believe you.
Don't believe in me, believe in yourself.
That's easy for you to say. You'll go on to college and make something of yourself.
Listen, stop thinking a college education is the end of the rainbow. You make it on what you are in this world.
Dave, let's not argue.
There are millions who make it big without college degrees.
I don't want to hear about it.
Do you want to know why I believe in myself?
No. Why?
When I was a kid, I won a trip to Washington, D.C. because I sold more newspaper subscriptions than anybody else.
What's that prove?
Nothing. Except, well, it taught me I could do a lot of things if I wanted to mobilize myself.
Sure, that's my problem. I'm not mobilized.
Got to want something pretty bad to be mobilized.
Yeah? Like what?
Well, like me wanting you. That mobilizes me.
That's funny.
Why?
Because you do the same for me.
Hey, I dig that. That we both mobilize each other.
Don't joke about it.
Hey, don't be so violent.
I think I'll bite off your ear.
Watch out. You're safer when you're in a loving mood.
Well?
You're crazy.
While our self-concept begins early in life, it becomes an extremely critical problem in adolescence. At this time, each of us asks himself two important questions. Who am I? And what am I good for? These two questions also play an important part in marriage. For unless each marriage partner has a good sense of who they are and what they're good for, the marriage is headed for failure.
I guess questions like that frighten me a bit. I mean, staring at myself in the mirror, asking myself who I am. It's a lonely thing to do. Staring at yourself all alone. Just you and that stranger. Trying to find out who you are.
You stay away from Ray, do you hear?
But, Mom, he's 19, not 35.
What's wrong?
Oh, Mom thinks I'm going to end up pregnant like Barb.
I said you're not going to end up like Barb if I had anything to say about it.
Mom, do we have to hear about that again?
Now, you both listen to me. You live so this family can have a little respect. Do you hear?
Okay, Mom.
Life's hard enough without you messing up when you're 15. That's simple enough to remember, isn't it? You just forget about Ray.
But, Mom!
Don't fight it, Sue.
Oh, what's the use?
Do you want to talk here or in the lounge?
This is okay.
I wanted to talk to you here because now and then it's good you get a look at how the company lives.
It's attractive enough.
Your mom reports you got pretty heated up the other afternoon and said you weren't going on to school.
She makes me say a lot of things I don't want to say.
Yes?
I'm sure she does. She means well. She worries a lot. I mean, both of us do. About Vicky. You see? Well, we both feel she's interfering with your decision about college.
Mom daydreams too much.
How serious are you about this girl?
I don't know.
I'd like an answer, Dave.
What do you want me to say? That I'm going to marry her and blow my brilliant future?
No.
Well, Vicky, well, she's important to me right now.
How?
I don't know. I haven't analyzed it all out yet. She just makes me feel as if I've arrived at something. Some kind of strange but beautiful privacy with another person. It's never happened this way before. Exactly.
Are you talking about being in love?
Love? Yeah, I suppose some people would call it that.
It might be good to remember that your ideas about love will change as you get older.
What do you mean?
Well, love will probably mean something different to you when you're, say, 22. Don't let yourself get too drunk on it before you learn to handle it.
Thanks, Dad, for all the fatherly advice.
I'm only trying to help.
Well, then keep your platitudes to yourself.
Easy, Dave. I'm not your mother.
Stop telling me how I should feel. I'm old enough to know how I feel.
Okay.
I'm tired of people making me feel guilty about everything I do. For being young. For wanting to discover the world for myself. Is that something you can understand?
Sure, I understand.
Oh, because you were young once, huh?
No, not exactly.
What exactly do you remember about being 18?
Well,
I didn't know you were home. Is play practice over already?
Yeah,
How's the play coming?
well enough.
I don't know if I told you or not, but I played Ophelia once.
How come you've never done much with your acting?
Oh, it's hard to say. When you get married, you give up a lot of things. I guess acting was one of them.
How old were you when you got married?
Oh, 22. I had an attack of what we used to call senior panic. You know, it happens to old maids and pregnant girls around graduation time. Are there any girls at your school like that?
You asking about Vicky?
Not particularly. Is she worried about being an unmarried senior?
No. As far as I know, she hasn't proposed to anyone yet.
I didn't ask that.
Well, why don't you? Why don't you find out so you can sleep at night?
That's enough, Dave.
Well, just quit making me feel so guilty for even knowing the girl.
I just don't want you doing anything foolish.
Like what? Say what you mean.
That you won't get her pregnant.
Oh, for crying out loud.
I bet she worries about it, too.
Is that it? Is that your dirty little daydream?
All right, Dave, stop it.
You stop it.
What's the matter? Why can't we be civilized with each other?
Mom, I try.
When you exploded me with all your hatred,
Mom, I don't want to hate you. I don't want to hate anybody.
Then why all the hatred, Dave?
I don't know why. When I think of all the pressures, the world, I don't know, the world on its deathbed, I want to cry out. I want to explode.
If you just wouldn't worry so much.
Mom, I have to worry. Don't you see? You and the world are a part of my insides. You make me hurt and hate and... Mom, I don't want to hate, but you push me right up the wall. You push and push and push.
Dave?
Mom and I are like a matador and a bull. We take turns murdering each other.
I guess Mom and I spend a lot of time ignoring each other. It's a lot safer than fighting, believe me.
I guess the only way to avoid all the family bloodshed is to take off for the coast. I've got an uncle out there who's between wives.
What are you going to do when you get there?
I don't know. Find something where I can work off some of my hate.
I just want a job that makes me feel alive.
We'll find something. Don't worry.
Do you suppose we could ever find something that we could do together?
I don't know. Maybe make love?
I thought you were being serious.
I am. Come here.
You're really feeling like a lover, aren't you?
You inspire me.
Good.
You know, you're one of the few people I know that doesn't turn me into a maniac.
What?
Well, with you, I don't feel all kinked up and wild inside. You make me feel human. Don't you see, Vicky? You've taught me something about love.
Not exactly.
With you, well, I don't feel so much hate. I mean, well, there's no bomb ticking away inside. I feel gentle and warm and, well, human. I need that more than anything right now.
I want that too.
Vicky,
What?
do you love me?
Sure.
Do you think I love you?
Yes, of course.
Do you think we love each other enough to, get married?
Dave, I don't know
Don't know what.
about marriage.
You say it's a beautiful experience. Try it with me.
I don't know. Marriage is a big proposition. Maybe we should wait.
Waiting is for old folks. Say yes to being young.
You make it sound so easy.
As easy as this.
Where have you been? Your mother and I have been worried about you.
Well, I went out for a walk.
Is everything all right?
Everything's fine.
Why didn't you tell me where you were going?
I don't know.
The next time you leave the house that late, be sure to let us know where you're going.
Okay. The truth is, you see, I stepped out and got myself engaged.
Why, Dave, you're not even out of high school yet.
You said engaged?
Yeah. I just asked her to marry me. She said yes. That is the way you get engaged, isn't it?
Are you sure this wasn't Vicky's idea?
Yeah. I distinctly remember she said yes, and nothing else.
Have you considered how you're going to support yourself?
We'll make out. We can both work.
Then you're not going to college next fall.
Mom, when I'm ready to go to college, I'll go. Can't you believe that?
No, not with that girl around your neck.
Mom, your whole problem is you can't think she's anything but a cheap little schemer.
I have only to look at her to know what she is.
Mom, stop running her down.
There's no need to shout at each other.
Who's shouting?
We all are. I think it'd be easier if we all sat down a minute.
I'd rather stand, Dad.
We love each other. That's why we're getting married.
You've only known the boy 4 months. Is that all it takes you to fall in love?
What makes you an authority on this subject anyhow?
I've lived longer than you. That's my authority.
Have you got some big love for Dad? Is that what makes you an
Don't
authority?
get smart, Vicky.
I'm only telling you, you don't need to be 40 to know everything.
Well, I know one thing. You don't know Dave well enough to marry him.
That's not for you to
I
decide.
don't have to decide. I know.
You don't know anything.
Oh, sure. Your sister said the same thing.
But, Mom, that was different.
She stood right there and told me I didn't know anything.
But nobody's pregnant this time. Don't you understand?
Barb said she wasn't pregnant either. That was a big laugh.
But I'm not pregnant. I'm not.
Okay, if you're not pregnant, what's the big hurry then?
Because, Mom, you wouldn't understand.
Vicky, don't do anything stupid.
Participial. I didn't study participial. Are you kidding me?
What are you two ex-cheerleaders looking so cheery about?
It's Friday, that's why. You got anything good to say about me in your paper today?
Sorry, honey, nothing today.
You just lost a dime.
Well, how did it go?
Rough.
Me too. felt like I was pleading for my life.
What did they say?
They ended up threatening me with everything but abandonment.
I only talked to... I'll see Dad tonight.
Will he do anything?
I don't know. He'll just make a lot of noise.
Well, then everything's the same.
About the engagement?
Yeah.
Well, what do you want to do?
I don't know, Vicky. Whatever you want to do.
Then it's up to me?
No. Let's go ahead.
Okay, so nothing's changed, huh?
Well, except one thing.
What's that?
You look older and prettier this morning.
I feel older.
It's too bad today's another school day.
Why?
I'd kind of like to spend it with you.
I'll see you during English Lit.
Yeah, from across the room.
I'll write you a long love note.
Is that the final bell?
No, we have 5 minutes yet.
I can't get over how much older I feel today.
Maybe we should cut school and take a long walk.
Not today. I've got the paper to get out.
Who do you love, me or that paper?
I'll tell you after it gets off the presses.